Hey, what it do, sports world? Welcome to the Real Untouchable Podcast with me, Ray Diggs. I got a great segment for you all. This right here is my week 2 pick'ems. All right, this right here is my week 2 predictions. All right, for college football. Okay, this right here is when week 2 is basically when some of the good teams are basically starting to play against other good teams. It's not like week 1 when you're playing against the Tennessee States and all these other crazy schools. You actually start seeing the Texas and Alabama. Okay, the Tulane and the Ole Miss. Okay, this is when teams actually start playing against competition. Okay, and guess what, man? Thank you all again for everybody that's liking the podcast and the videos and whatever. The sharing. Hey man, my boy Leezy, man, I gotta shoot a shout out to you, man. I appreciate it, man. Hey, one thing about you, hey, you will always share my stuff. I appreciate it. Just know that I'm grateful. I'm doing what I love to do, basically, and that's talk about sports. So I definitely appreciate you. All right. And for everybody else, man, make sure y'all continue to hit the like button, the subscribe button, the share button. All right. You see my Instagram page up here, my Facebook page. All right. So make sure y'all tune in. Like I said, I'm gonna continue to bring y'all these videos. And you never know how far this right here is gonna go, man, because I'm gonna continue to get better and I'm gonna continue to put in more and more time into making these videos. With the time that I have, that's the reason why, sometimes my videos be a little bit rushed. But I'll continue to get y'all the type of content that you all want. But listen, let's jump into this top 25 thing. All right. We got some great games this weekend, man. I'm excited about this weekend right here, man. But number 1, Georgia, y'all, the number 1 team in the nation, the 2-time defending national champions, they will play against Ball State. I expect for Georgia to blast Ball State. I expect for them to destroy them. So that's going to be an easy game for the Dogs, maybe around about 56-3 type of game. I expect for them to win that game easily. Number 5, Ohio State against Youngstown State. Ohio State looked terrible that first week. I don't expect for Ohio State to look terrible 2 weeks in a row. Now, I could be wrong, but I can't see them looking terrible a second straight week. Because if it starts looking terrible for all these weeks, we know that in a couple weeks they will face against Notre Dame, and they do not need to look terrible against that Notre Dame team because Notre Dame is really good this year. Okay, but I expect for the number 5 team to pretty much put a beat down on Youngstown State. I expect for the quarterback position to start taking shape. I expect for you to start figuring out who's going to be the quarterback for the Ohio State Buckeyes for this 2023 season, and I expect for them to start getting the best receiving core involved in the game. More than they did the first week. I expect for this week right here, you're going to see more of the Marvin Harrison Jr., the best wide receiver in college football, starts actually making his name, his presence felt, as he did last season. All right, but I expect Ohio State to win that game easily. What about number 7, Penn State against Delaware? I expect Penn State to blow Delaware out. It's not a game. It's one of those easy games, the first 2 or 3 weeks that these teams do. So I expect for Penn State to blow out Delaware. What about number 10, Notre Dame against North Carolina State? I expect for Notre Dame to win this game, but it is one of those trap games. It is one of those games. North Carolina State, they are the type of team. They remind you, who North Carolina State reminds you of? They remind you of Mad Dog 2020, the alcohol, the liquor. All right. They one of those, alcohol that sneak up on you. And before you know it, they pretty much has beaten you. But I don't expect for this right here to happen tonight. I expect for them to drink a little bit of soda. I don't expect for them to put no Mad Dog 2020. I don't expect for no Mad Dog 2020 to be on the field. I expect for it to be a field goal. All right. That's what I expect for it to be on the field when these 2 teams face off against each other. I expect for Notre Dame to beat this team. And Sam Hartman is going to continue to build on this Heisman Trophy name. He's going to continue to build. Y'all keep hearing me talk about him. The dude was good last year at Wake Forest. He's good again this year. Nobody's talking about him. We're talking about Shedeur Sanders, Caleb Williams, Drake May, and all these guys. But Sam Hartman, y'all better start watching out for him because he's going to continue to get better and better as he gets comfortable in this Notre Dame offense. But the kid can play. I expect for number 10 Notre Dame to pretty much blast North Carolina State. All right. And like I said, it could be one of those trapping games where, North Carolina State going into the 4th quarter and it's a close game. But I don't expect that. I expect for Notre Dame to win this game easy. What about number 22, Colorado, Coach Prime's Buffaloes? They're at home for the first time this season. And what I'm hearing is a sold-out crowd. And they will be faced against Matt Rule and the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Now, this right here can be a trap game as well. Notre Dame, Nebraska can come into this game and easily, put up a fight. The next thing you know, in the fourth quarter, just like how Colorado did against TCU, it's a close game in the fourth quarter. I think Colorado need to build off that first game. Will they come? They need to claim down off their hype. Listen, we won the first game against TCU, but that means nothing if we lose this game. This is more like a must-win for this Colorado team because, listen, if they win this game right here, they can easily win next week. And then we're talking about Colorado being 3-0, number 18 or number 17 in the rankings. Because right now they're number 22 after one game. So we can easily say that this team right here is at number, at number 17, 16 after 3 weeks. And that's a win for Coach Prime and his Buffaloes, all right? But I expect for Shedeur Sanders, I don't think Travis Hunter, I don't think they're pretty much on their high horse after the first game. I expect for them to build off of that first game. And people going to continue to know who Travis Hunter is, all right? For people that don't know, the kid is a PTP, y'all. He's a prime time player. The reason why Dion got the D, put the D on his jersey because he's a bona fide dog. The boy is a dog. Go to YouTube page, the Colorado Buffaloes, and actually watch this kid as he practiced. He practiced just like he played in the game. And I don't expect for Colorado to come out here. I don't expect for them to come out here and take it easy on Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame is trying to play victim. Like, everybody counting us up. We counting y'all out because y'all lost last week. Shit, y'all lost a game that you should have won. Yes, we counting y'all out. We done counted y'all out. 1, 2, 3. You done. We done with y'all. So we expect for y'all to lose again this week against Colorado. I hope y'all lose. Matter of fact, all right, let's move on to the next game. All right, number 25, Clemson against Charleston State. Clemson looked terrible that first game. They looked bad, but they might make it right this week. They need to make it right this week. They got to make it right this week because Dabo, hey, listen, I know y'all, a lot of people going to throw shots. Dabo might be on the hot seat because think about it, y'all. Swinney was compared to Nick Saban a couple years ago. And for this program to go down the way it is and lose to Duke a basketball school. You lose your first ACC game of the year? I hear rumbling coming up out of Clemson right now. I hear rumbling. Dabo needs to adjust to the times. He needs to adjust to the times and understand that the transfer portal is where you win at. Nick Saban does it. All these other schools does it. But you claim you don't want to do it, but I think you're going to have to do it. In the end, you're going to have to do it. But I expect for them to win this game right here against Charleston State. Because if they don't, that seat going to get even hotter for old Dabo Swinney. All right. What about number 20, Ole Miss against number 24, Tulane? I expect for Todd and Hottie to win this game. They're just a better team. They got the more talented Jackson Dort. They got the running game. So I expect for Ole Miss to beat Tulane, even though Tulane is a very talented team. They're a really good team. They was good last season, but I expect for them to lose this game right here. I don't expect for them to, Ole Miss is just one of those teams that, they just explosive. They're a good team and well coached. Of course, they're well coached, so I expect for Ole Miss to win that game. Number 9, Tennessee against Austin Peay. I'm going with number 9, Tennessee. Listen, number 9, Tennessee, y'all need to start tuning in to them. Joe Milton is a really hell of a quarterback. If he can just stay consistent. Listen, this team right here is as a team. This is a team right here, Tennessee. People is sleeping on them. We talk about Alabama. We talk about Georgia. But listen, this Tennessee team is really, really good. They are getting better and better. They have a 4-3-4 hitting monster at running back. And that's something that they really didn't have last year. They threw the ball more. This season, I think they're going to run the ball. And just make sure y'all continue to tune in to watch this team. This team right here is a really good team. And I'm going with them to win this game right here against Austin Peay easily. Blast them. They're going to blast Austin Peay. Blowout. Number 18, Oklahoma against SMU. I like SMU. They got a couple players there from Duncanville I like. But I'm going to go with Oklahoma to win this game. And I'm going to tell y'all this right here, the continued growing name of Jackson Arnold. Remember the name, y'all. Jackson Arnold. The kid is a PTP. He's a primetime player at quarterback. I was watching him play last year down there in Denton, Texas. The dude can play football. He reminds me of a younger version of Caleb Williams when he went to Oklahoma. And I expect for him to continue to grow. And I know that Gabriel looking over his shoulder, where he at? He's one of those quarterbacks that you're going to be looking over your shoulder because he can play. So, but I expect for Oklahoma to keep getting better and better. Oklahoma's going to have a good team this year. I feel it in my heart. Oklahoma is going to have a good team this year. Okay. All right. What about number 3 Alabama against number 11 Texas? This right here is the game of the week. This right here is where Nick Saban against Steve Sarkisian. This right here, where Alabama last season went to Texas. I picked Alabama to win the game by 21. They ended up winning the game by 2, I think. It was like 21-19. I expect for Alabama to win this game by 14. I think that Texas is who we think they are. They are a good team, but they're not good. They're not, on the Alabama level, the Georgia level. Like, I think they have a hell of a team, but it's a good team when it's not playing against another great team. And that's what I think Alabama is. I'm going with Alabama. Roll Tide to win this game by 14 points. It's in T-Town. So, like I said, last season, they was close, but here they was playing at home. They was playing lights out at first. I expect for Alabama to come out of here. I expect for them to be ready, prepared. I expect for Nick Saban to unleash the dogs in Jalen Milroe. Listen to what I'm saying. This is the game where you can pretty much put that quarterback controversy or that quarterback competition. You can put that in the coffin and you can put it down like the Undertaker. This is the week. If you go out there this week and destroy Texas, not only will you solidify that quarterback position, you might can put your name up there in the Heisman Trophy candidate conversation as well. So this is the game right here for Jalen Milroe. It's a make it or break it week for Jalen Milroe, y'all. Because if he goes out there and he like poop cheese, I expect for Ty Simpson to get in. And I don't know if you put Ty Simpson on the field, is he ever going back to the bench? Okay, so this right here is a make or break the week. I'm going with Alabama to win this game by at least 14 points. We got number 13 Oregon against Texas Tech. Texas Tech looked terrible last week, losing to I think like a Division II school. So I expect for Oregon to blow them out this week. Bo Nix, people listen to what I'm saying about Bo Nix. Bo Nix is the type of quarterback, y'all, that he don't play bad against teams that's not like if you're from the SEC, he played bad against SEC defense. But anything outside SEC, if he plays against Pac-12, Big Ten, he always plays good against those type of defenses. It's the SEC defense that's his kryptonite. That's the only time that he gets shut down. It's against SEC defenses. This is not an SEC defense. So I expect for him to come out here and beat the brakes off of Texas Tech. All right. What about number 6 USC and Stanford? I expect for Caleb Williams to continue to grow. I expect for and he hear the church. He hear the Shador Sanders and the Michael Penix Jr. and the Drake May and all these other dudes, the Travis Hunter. He hear that when they talking about the Heisman Trophy candidate. He's seen what some of y'all put, Shador Sanders number 1 on the Heisman Trophy candidate list. He said, man, y'all must forgot who I am. I'm him. Travis Hunter saying that he's him. I'm him for real. And I done showed it by 1 Heisman. So I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to continue to show y'all that I'm really him. And that's what I think he's going to do in this game right here against Stanford. I expect for USC. Of course, Stanford can score because USC don't have a good defense, but I think their offense is going to continue to get better and better. Zachariah Brand, it's your time, y'all. It's your time, dog. Go out there and be a dog that we know you can be. And I expect for Caleb Williams to continue to grow. I expect for him to throw another 5 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns, and do what he normally do, and that's be a star. All right. But Caleb Williams, y'all better tune in. That boy's a star. He's a dog. All right. What about number 12, Utah against Baylor? Baylor didn't look good last week. I'm going with Utah. I don't know if Cam Rising is coming back, but it don't really matter. They don't need him against this Baylor team because they just not good this year. I don't think they're going to be too good this year. And I expect for Utah to beat Baylor. All right, what about number 15, Kansas State and Troy? I got Kansas State beating Troy. And I also number 2, Michigan against UNLV. This right here will be the second game without Coach Jim Harbaugh. But I'm going with Jim Harbaugh's Michigan Wolverines to win this game. It don't matter who's the coach. They're going to beat UNLV. They're going to lean heavily on their run game. I think that this team right here can pretty much lean on their run game until they face against a Penn State or Ohio State. I don't think they need McCarthy to throw the ball, but it's gonna come a time where they're gonna need him to deliver them a W. And he looked good the first game. He gets his coach back after the next game, because I think it was like a 3-game suspension for Jim Harbaugh. But they need to play better than they did last week. Last week it was a 33 win, but it was a sloppy win. But I expect for them to build off of that this week, and I expect for them to pretty much play a way better game than they played last week. All right. What about Texas A&M? Number 23, Texas A&M against Miami. This is my first upset. I'm going with Miami. I think Miami going to upset Texas A&M. Texas A&M, they just, and I might be wrong, man. Like I said, it's just my hate for Texas A&M. But I just got a feeling that Miami is going to surprise them, and they're going to upset Texas A&M in this game right here. What about number 8, Washington against Tulsa? I'm going with Washington. Michael Penix Jr. in that receiving core, I think they're going to continue to progress, get better and better. That's like the 3rd best wide receiving core in the nation. So I expect for Michael Penix Jr. to continue to throw for 400, 300, 400, 500 yards with 4 or 5 touchdowns. I expect for him to continue to do that because, like I said, Washington is one of those teams when it comes down to the nitty gritty and the rubber meets the road. This team right here could easily be right there at the top of the Pac-12 and even the college football playoffs at the end of the season. What about number 17, North Carolina against Appalachian State? I'm going with North Carolina, Drake May. Even though Appalachian State, they remind you, they just like North Carolina State. They mad dog 2020. They sneaks up on you, but I just don't think they're going to sneak up on this North Carolina team. North Carolina looked good last week. Even though Drake May didn't have some of his weapons, he's pretty much lost some of his weapons, but I expect for him to pretty much pull this game right here. I expect for them to win this game easily. I don't think they're going to allow Appalachian State to pull an upset like they normally do. What about number 21, Duke against Lafayette? Duke looked good last week against Clemson. I'm going to go with them this week. I expect for them to beat Lafayette. Duke is a really good team. Yes, you heard it here. Duke is a good team. I know Duke is a basketball school, but they're turning into a football school as well, and I expect for them to win this game against Lafayette. What about number 14, LSU against Grambling? I expect for LSU to bounce back. They need to bounce back. They have to bounce back. They can't lose another game, and I think they won't lose another game. I think LSU did think that they was Georgia. I will agree with Brian Kelly. Some of the things that he said, I wouldn't have said it, but he said it. So hey, we got to talk about it. I wouldn't have said it that they thought they were Georgia. I would have just said they thought they was a better team than they went out there and played like. But I will agree with him. I think LSU thought they was Georgia, but you guys are not Georgia. Georgia just beat y'all by 20 in the SEC championship game. So y'all definitely not Georgia. But I think they are a good team. And everybody know I hate LSU, but I will say this about them. I think they're going to bounce back. I think they're going to bounce back. I think they're going to have a good season. They'll be up there towards the top of the SEC West, probably the top of the SEC as well, probably with Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia. They'll be up there towards the top somewhere. So I expect for them to be there. All right, and I expect for them to bounce back. I expect for them to take their anger out on this Grambling team. They're going to blast Grambling. All right. What about number 19, Wisconsin against Washington State? This right here is my second upset. I'm going with Washington State. I feel like Washington State is a better team. I feel like I watched Wisconsin play in the first game. They, of course, their running back. One running back had 150, 160. The other one had 140. But that's the thing about this team here, this Washington State team. Their quarterback, he throws it. He can throw. He can run. They're pretty much going to air raid this off. They're going to pretty much air raid their offense. So a run team against a passing team, with this team scoring, faster they're scoring, I just don't know if Wisconsin can withstand that. But also, we never know when it comes to Wisconsin. To be honest, Fickle, he's the new coach down there in Wisconsin. We never know when it comes down to this team. Sometimes I say that they might be like this, and then next thing Wisconsin come out here and they win the game, 45 to 28 or something like that. So it won't surprise me if Wisconsin win. But I got a feeling that Washington State is going to pull the upset. All right, what about number 4, Florida State against Southern Miss? Florida State looked good last week. They looked really, really good. They looked like a championship team last week against LSU. They slapped LSU in the mouth. They went out there. They showed them, just because y'all the SEC, that don't mean we're going to bow down to y'all. And that's exactly what they did. I expect for them to continue to get better and better. I expect for them to blast Southern Miss this week. This Florida State team is going to be towards the ACC top. They're going to be top of the ACC at the end of the season. I'm bearing an injury or something, or just a mental breakdown. This is a really, really good Florida State team. And they made a believe out of me last week because I picked LSU to win. And, you know, the way they won, the way they beat them is what surprised me. All right, so I'm going with Florida State. And the last game is number 16, Oregon State against UC Davis. I'm going to go with Oregon State. I like what I saw last week out of them. I like DJ. DJ had a hell of a game. And I kept telling everybody that DJ can play. I've been watching him playing ever since. I've been watching him play football since he was playing at Bosco High School. And the kid can play. The problem with it is Clemson's offense. They're stagnant. They got a very stagnant offense. You know, and that's another thing about Dabo you're going to have to adjust to. You're going to have to open that offense up because DJ is not a running quarterback. He can run, but he don't like to run. His first option is to throw. And for him, for Dabo pretty much wanted him to be one of those Deshaun Watson, which he's not. And we saw that in the first game of the season against Oregon State. I mean, against when they played their first game of the season, when he played his first game for Oregon State. We saw that. We saw that this kid can draw back and just throw the ball. The dude can play. And it won't surprise me if he continue to play like this, you know, around, you know, the NFL draft next season, that he's in the top 25 of the NFL draft. Because he definitely got the size. 6'4", 6'5", 230 pounds. The dude is a big quarterback. So, I mean, he got he checked all the blocks when it comes down to a quarterback. But the only thing about it is I think he was in the wrong system, which, you know, he was in the wrong system at Clemson because Clemson want to run their quarterbacks too much. Look what they did to Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, they running Trevor Lawrence, and we know he ain't no running quarterback. So that's why, you know, I think that this Oregon State team can be really, really dangerous in the Pac-12. The Pac-12, I ain't gonna even lie, man. Me and my friends, we're gonna get on here. We're gonna talk about the Pac-12 quarterbacks, man. The Pac-12 probably got the best set of quarterbacks in college football. And that's crazy because I never thought I'd be hearing myself say that. But they definitely have a lot of good quarterbacks, from the Caleb Williams to the Shedeur Sanders, you know, to Michael Penix Jr. You know, they got really, really good quarterbacks, man. But anyway, that's my pick 'em, my top 25 picks, my top 25 predictions for week 2. Hey, make sure y'all tune in again next week. I'll be giving y'all my week 3 predictions, all right? But hey, like I tell y'all, make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe button, and share button on the YouTube channel. You go to Facebook, the Facebook name, this right here, my Instagram name. Hey, make sure y'all just go on there, you know, I'll accept you as a friend on my Facebook page, on my Instagram. So just make sure y'all come and continue to support. It's going to continue to get better. And thank y'all again for listening to another great segment of the Real Untouchable Podcast with me, Ray Diggs. This right here is my week 2 predictions. Peace, and have a great, great week, y'all. Peace.